Hi everyone, my name is Jaitni. I am a mindset and nutrition coach. So I help clients cope with stress, depression, or anxiety through healthy habit formation, lifestyle changes, and proper nutrition. Every week I drop a wellness related video. So if wellness interests you, then please make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I also share self-love and self-care reminders via my blog. So if you're more of a reader and enjoy them being delivered directly to your inbox, then make sure to subscribe to my blog. The link for that is in the subscription. And lastly, you can follow me on Instagram at Imperfect Bodies by C Modi. So this week's topic is how to gain mental clarity. What exactly is mental clarity? It's about being focused, it's about being able to concentrate, and it's about feeling energized while you do all of that. Mental clarity is not about just functioning on autopilot. It's about being present, it's about making difficult decisions, rational decisions, sensible decisions, and sometimes making those decisions in the moment, thinking very quickly on your feet. However, what happens is sometimes when there's chronic stress, when there's burnout, when there's anxiety, when you have poor food habits, when there is lack of sleep, so many of these factors will contribute to your mental clarity and actually lead to brain fog, where you're not able to make the best possible decisions for yourself, where you're not able to make them quickly enough, and thinking in the moment or just thinking clearly in general turns into a struggle. So today I'm going to share a few different ways that you can incorporate, make a part of your life so that you can regain mental clarity or start to develop it more than what you already have established today. So number one is, this should come as no surprise, but food is fuel for your brain. Yes, it's fuel for your body, but it's also fuel for your brain. So when you're hooked on processed foods, when you're hooked on sugar, on unhealthy carbs, all of that can lead to brain fog. It can lead to not feeling as energetic, and just this lethargy that comes into you, even with the decisions that you make, the processing that you do, outside of just anything physical that you're experiencing. You kind of feel like your brain has slowed down. So what is the answer to this is really trying to eat healthy fats for your brain, because your brain actually needs that. A lot of it is fat in there. So having avocados, having nuts and seeds, those are all great options. Limiting processed food and refined sugar. Forget calories, forget counting those calories and worrying about having that perfect meal. Really just try to choose anything that feels like a natural food to you, less processed, and is actually nutritious for your body. And automatically you will start to experience a lot more clarity and just regain a lot more perspective. And then tip number two is getting enough sleep. This should also come as no surprise, but when you sleep, yes, your body gets the rest that it needs, but so does your brain. Think of it as a deep cleanse for your brain. It's kind of like an exfoliation for your brain. It cleans out all the kinks. It also, processes some important decisions. So something that you might have been pondering the entire day or for days, your brain works on that. It goes through that whole decision-making process while you're in deep sleep. So the minute you give up deep sleep, you actually give up any kind of clarity that you may have. So that's why getting enough sleep is absolutely imperative to having that clarity, to having that perspective. Ideally, you want 7 to 9 hours of consecutive sleep. A lot of times people think that, I can just sleep for 5 hours at night and then maybe take an hour nap or, a 2-hour nap, and that's fine. But that's not it, because you need the REM cycle to happen. And in order for that to happen, you need to get consecutive 7 to 9 hours, depending on whatever your body and mind require, so that your brain can actually feel fully rested. So getting enough sleep is extremely important. Tip number three is unburden your brain. So I know a lot of times scrolling through social media or binge watching something on Netflix or Amazon Prime or whatever you have can feel like such a release, and it can feel really relaxing. But too much of that can actually add to the mental clutter that already exists in your brain. So it becomes less of a release and more of a burden to your brain. So find ways where you can enjoy a brain dump. And that could be, moving your body, whether you choose to work out or dance, or go to spin class, go out for a walk. So that might be one way that you do a brain dump. For some, it could just be journaling and just kind of vomiting all your thoughts on paper. For some people, it's just kind of writing down some of those thoughts, so not necessarily journaling, but just quickly writing down what's going through your mind and then picking that habit back up when you feel like you need a brain dump. So there are a lot of ways that you can have that brain dump. It could be through journaling, through writing, it can be through moving your body, it can be sometimes through listening to music, or it can be, hanging out with your pets. That can also lead to that brain dump. So essentially what you want to remember is try to unburden that clutter that's in your mind. And social media and binge watching can only do so much of that for you. In fact, it's actually going to add to that clutter. Then tip number 4 is get out. It doesn't matter how cold it is outside, how much it's snowing, or whether you live in a concrete jungle. So do I. But it's really important and necessary to get out. And when I say get out, it doesn't have to be for a run. It doesn't have to be for a jog or a walk. Sometimes it could just be sitting in your car and driving around and observing the world around you. Or it could just be stepping outside and, sitting on your front porch and looking up at the sky, or looking at the cars go by or the people go by, watching that random squirrel climb up that tree. That is where you kind of get to just be in the present and let loose and give your brain a break. So really important to get out regardless of your location, regardless of where you are, regardless of the climate. If you want to do it, you absolutely can. There are many different ways to get out, like I shared just a minute ago. And the last tip, and this is one of my favorites actually, is automate as much as you can. What that means is not working on autopilot. Those are two different things. Automation is, delegating. It's leaning on the tools that you have to making your life simpler. So that could be, blocking time off on your calendar, setting reminders on your phone, just so that your brain is not on overdrive and it's not overburdened. Like for instance, if there's something that you need to do for the day, your wife tells you, oh, please pick up some fruits and some veggies, and she gives you a list of what you need to get. Instead of constantly thinking in your head that, oh yeah, before I get home, I need to pick this up. Before I get home, I need to pick this up. Write it down, have your to-do list, put a reminder on your phone so that when you're done with work, the reminder goes off and you know that, all right, you need to stop by the grocery store and pick up some stuff for home. So simplify your life, because that will really take the stress out of your brain having to keep track of every single thing. And obviously ask for help and delegate. There's nothing wrong with delegating. It doesn't mean that you're lazy. It doesn't mean that you're incompetent. If there are things that you can delegate, or if there are things that somebody else is better at doing, whether it's your partner or a family member or a colleague, then try to have that discussion and try to hand it off to them. So there are so many ways of regaining clarity. A lot of people will talk about meditating, about mindfulness. All of that stuff is great. What I've shared with you, these are 5 of my favorites. They're very practical, and they're actually tools that I use in my daily life to make sure that I'm not stressing myself out, and especially stressing my brain out, and I can actually make clear and logical decisions. So I hope that helps you. Like I always say, pick one, pick all, and see what works for you, and let me know how it goes. As always, thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate it. I will catch you here next week. In the meantime, have a fabulous and healthy week. Bye-bye.